Hear ye, hey you in the pink dress, hear ye, hey, you, we got something to say over here, listen to me. I know, because I'm listening to me, I know, because I'm listening to me. Listen, listen to her.
Listen. Okay, sex. What's on my mind? Relations between men and women in this city and how impossible, incredibly impossible they seem right now. I mean, just nuts. I mean, what is there now on your first date, say, to prevent some kind of a sexual encounter with a man? My sister says that that's what doormen are for. But what if you don't have a doorman? Or what if he's off duty? Or what if you have a romantic, secluded roof? What is to prevent you from, say, kissing someone? And if you do, how do you know you're ever going to see them again? Or what if, even though you know you should know better, you have sex with them? Is there any guarantee that your paths will ever cross again? No. In this city, there are more things that tear two people apart than hold them together. And one of the things that tear people apart is fear. Fear of AIDS, fear of commitment, fear of loss, fear of divorce. Divorce! Who here has been divorced or knows people who've been divorced? My family, 5 divorces. Why would I ever get involved with any of that shit? So there you are. And the first time that I was with some guy, we broke up after a week because he said we put the cart before the horse. And you know what? He was right. We had nothing in common. He played football. I hated football. So there you are. I mean, say you enjoy sex in the moment, but what is there to prevent afterwards, after you have sex, feeling that you've been taken, been stripped? I don't know about you guys, but after I have sex, I often feel like I've given away a part of myself and I want something back. It's just very confusing right now, relations between men and women in this city. You know what I think? Dogs. We should have more dogs. I have a dog. I think everyone should have a dog.
Hear ye, hey you in the pink t-shirt, hey you, listen to me, listen, hey you, hear ye, hey you, listen to me, I know, because I'm listening to me, listen, okay, here's the situation, okay, there's this woman lying on the ground, going through the turnstile and I see this woman lying on the ground. She was asking for help. She was lying there, hanging on, destitute, miserable, and sick. Yeah, we did. We walked on. We walked over her. We all understood, but we walked over. She was hanging on. She was asking for help, for crying out loud. What's going on? She was asking for help. People are it's so crowded in here. The only way to get anywhere is you've got to go over people. You got to go over and over. People are hanging on, destitute, miserable, and sick. People lying on the ground, and the people walking over them are hanging on, destitute, miserable, and sick. Everybody is hanging on, destitute, miserable. You're hanging on, destitute, miserable, and sick. What's going on here? We're missing her. We're overlooking her. We're looking over her. We're missing her. Something's got to stop. We're missing her.
Stop. You know what it is? There's too much
Noise.
There is too much damn noise in this city. I mean, how many of you stand there taking the subway and you can't even figure out what the goddamn announcements are coming over the loudspeaker? Or say you decide to get in a cab. How about all those celebrities telling you to put on your seatbelt? Who listens? Tune them out. There is just so much noise. Or the noise of you're standing in line and some clerk is telling you rudely, of course, they don't have what you want and it's your fault. Or the noise in your own head. Here you are, it's America, right? You're entitled to pursue happiness, right? So what are all these people doing in line, stopping you from hurrying up and pursuing your happiness? Noise. There is just too much noise. What we need? More different kinds of noise. How about some crickets?
I think it's stress. You need a vacation from stress. You know what stress is? When one action cannot be completed without another action or many other actions interrupting or interfering with the completion or close to completion of the first action, or when things are not going around in the specified amount of time and as a result someone, moi, stresses out totally over the lack of completion of just about everything, or when things seem to be going by very, 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 very fast, all slamming together at the same time, which is happening more and more these days, you end up catching up at the beginning or starting up at the end or something like that. Stress, when one action cannot be completed without another action or many other actions interrupting or interfering with the completion or close to completion of the first action, or when things are not done in the specified amount of time and as a result someone stresses out totally over the lack of completion of just about everything, or when things seem to be going by very, 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 very fast, all slamming together at the same time, which is happening more and more these days, you end up catching up at the beginning or starting up at the end or something like that.
Listen. Think about all the newspapers and all the statistics you see in the newspapers every day, right? But you know about Mark Twain, our great American author, Mark Twain? He said there are lies, damn lies, and statistics. So let's take some New York statistics. There are 19.3 million people in this city, 19.3 million. And you know how many miles of subways there are? 772. Laid end to end, all those subway lines would get us all the way from here to Chicago. And you know, when those subways were first built, people were so excited to get on them that they lined up around the block for miles and miles. And one little kid was quoted in the Daily News as saying he was thrilled. How many kids do you think are thrilled to take the subway now? And how long do you think it takes them to get to school? Okay, let's talk about school in New York. How many kids in school? New York has the largest school district in the whole United States, bar none. LA is a distant second. There are 1 million children in school right now. And how many of those 1 million do we think are going to graduate knowing how to read and write and know how to balance their salaries against what they're spending? I don't know. Let's not think about it. Let's talk about something else. Okay, Brooklyn. Do you live in Brooklyn? Who lives in Brooklyn? Okay, well, Brooklyn is bigger than Boston. Anyone else? Anyone live in Queens? Queens is bigger than Philly. Philly is a peanut compared to Queens. It's just, this city is so big. But you know what we're rated number 1 as to live in as a town? Art. This is supposed to be the best city in all of America to live in terms of art. And you know how many? At the Met last year, there were 4 million people who went to the Met. But you know what we think the greatest contribution New York has made to the world? Words. Without New Yorkers, there would be no hookers, no top hats, no Ritz, no hot dogs, no putting on the Ritz, no hokey pokey. So that's us, the home of D's, dem, and does, and top hats and hookers.
Hey, listen. Yoo-hoo. Hey, you. This is a soapbox.
This is a soapbox.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.